Speaking with me today is Sloan Mandel, a partner from Thomson Rogers and a member of the Personal Injury Alliance. Good morning, Sloan.
Hey, James, great to be with you.
Thank you very much. Now, it may surprise some of our listeners to learn that diving causes more spinal cord injuries than sports such as hockey even. What kind of numbers are we talking about?
James, in Ontario, we see close to 60 major spinal cord injuries per year from diving-related accidents, and 90% of these accidents result in what's called complete or incomplete quadriplegia. What quadriplegia is an injury to the spine that results in partial or total loss of use of a person's arms and legs. And we also know that the majority of these victims or survivors are boys or young men between the ages of 17 and 22 years, and that more than half the time alcohol or drugs are involved.
How serious an impact are these accidents on the victim and their families?
It's rare for an injury of this kind to be minor, and the circumstances can be devastating. There's often a long and painful rehabilitation process, an inability to work for a period of time, and a massive amount of expense associated with a person's lifelong care needs.
So with the severity of these injuries, how often do they happen, and where do they happen?
Again, we see about 60 major spinal cord injuries a year from diving-related accidents, and they can happen at a pool in a backyard, or it can happen at a cottage. And for many of your listeners, who happen to have properties on a waterway, they have to make sure that the lake or the river upon which their property is located is safe for diving, that they've warned people about diving risks that may be unique to their property, such as low water levels. For instance, we know that 95% of all diving injuries occur in water 1.5 meters, about 5 feet deep or less, in an unsupervised setting and no warning signs. And if a property owner hasn't made sure their property is safe, or doesn't make sure that the activities carried on at the property are safe, they can be what's called liable, responsible for the injury caused.
So what can cottage owners do to protect themselves from liability lawsuits?
Well, the best thing to do is to avoid it by taking appropriate measures to ensure that your property is safe and to make sure that the activities carried on are safe. And I don't want to be a downer, but in a matter of seconds, crazy fun can become horrible tragedy. Like the saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. That being said, accidents do happen, and that's why people buy insurance. And one thing that everybody can do is ensure that they have adequate insurance. And I myself, I have what's called an umbrella policy that provides for $10 million of coverage, and it's not uncommon for a case involving a severe spinal cord injury to approach a $10 million or exceed a $10 million amount of loss. So I encourage your listeners to make a call and ensure that they have adequate insurance protection.
Now, of course, we don't want to see it, but if someone was to be injured in a diving-related accident, what should they do?
Well, listen, there's a human side to this. So first and foremost, they got to get support of their family and their friends. They have to take a deep breath, and then they got to call a qualified personal injury lawyer. And I stress the word qualified, James, because credentials matter. When you've suffered an injury of this type, you're not in a position to go interview a bunch of lawyers. You're in a highly vulnerable state. You're distracted, and you don't want to hire a salesman to run your lawsuit. The lawyers of the three personal injury alliance firms, McLeish Orlando, Oatley Vigmond, and my firm, Thomson Rogers, we have a wealth of experience, tremendous resource, and importantly, industry respect. And so I encourage your listeners to be proactive. Check us out. Visit our website, pialaw.ca, and take a look at our credentials. Like you said, hopefully your listeners will never need us, but if they do, they'll know where to look.
Excellent. Well, thanks for giving us a little bit of insight into spinal cord injuries and what to do in the case of something like that happening.
Have a great summer, James.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Sloan.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.